President and CEO here at NCTA, and I can't tell you how deeply moved and warmed I am to welcome all of you here for this sort of inaugural event of our new NCTA Foundation. I'm glad to see so many of our staff here who really have taken a strong interest in their communities and their roles and responsibilities as philanthropists on their own, and really welcome to both our recipients, their staffs, and friends and families. They do the hard work. We just help put the fuel in the tank. I have to say, sort of in the arc of life, what matters most is not measuring people by their achievements, but measuring people by what they do to make the lives of others better. And I think that's true on an individual level. I think that's also should be true at an industrial level. And I think when we looked around and thought about ourselves as an industry, we thought, what's our place in the world in trying to help make the world a better place, to tackle the classic problems, the endemic problems of poverty and education and growth and so many other things. And we also know that we're members of a community. It's no fun to be throwing checks halfway across the country and never seeing the work, never having an opportunity not only to fund work, but to actively participate. And as I gave the mission to David, we said, we want things that are tangible, we can go be a part of. We can lend not just our treasure, but our time and our toil as well. And we pledge that to our recipients as well. So we're really thrilled to be here. We're thrilled to be in this community. And we're really thrilled to support three really terrific organizations. We took this very, very seriously. I want to commend David and Frank and their whole team. They combed through this on a mission. And we would go back and forth of what we were looking for, what would best achieve it. And so the recipients today really are the product of a lot of discussion, a lot of thought. And I think that's a testament to them and the amazing things they do. And a testament to our staff. So I won't be any longer and belabor the introductions. I'll bring up David. But just on behalf of everyone in this industry, we thank you and commend you for the hard and meaningful work you make in people's lives every day. So thank you.
Thank you very much, Michael. And I'd like to add my welcome to all of you here today. We're delighted you could join us for the unveiling of the NCTA Foundation, and more importantly, much more importantly actually, for the announcement of our partners for this year and the supporting grants we're making to them. And you can expect to see some very big, oversized checks in the very, very near future. But I also want to briefly take the opportunity to thank Michael for his support and his vision for what the foundation should be. It's been fun for the folks working on the foundation to make that vision a reality over the past several months as we have sought out partnerships that reflect NCTA's and our industry's collective commitment to social responsibility. So thank you, Michael, for your support. So for those who may not be familiar with it, let me tell you a little bit about the NCTA Foundation. In a single sentence, the NCTA Foundation seeks to support organizations and projects that meet needs in our community by leveraging resources intrinsic to our industry, such as broadband access and/or the content use and creation. But what that really means is that we want to support organizations and projects that are providing opportunities for all people, but most especially the underserved, so they can participate and succeed in the digital world. So yes, it's about economic development, and yes, it's about community development for sure, but much more fundamentally, it's about helping individual people, connect to and thrive in a world that is both defined by and enhanced by technology and the content that goes with it. And since NCTA is privileged to work here in Washington, D.C., our focus is on helping those here in our own city and our surrounding area. That, in a nutshell, is what the NCTA Foundation is all about, but there are two additional things that you should know. You might think of them as really our guiding principles. First, we are seeking to act as a catalyst for the organizations and the projects we support. This goes beyond just grant making. We are willing to work with our partners to be forward-looking and to find ways that we can help them either jumpstart promising new programs or supercharge existing initiatives so that their reach is significantly extended. And any partnership grants we make are specifically designed to fund those opportunities. We are, if you like, making investments in our partners' futures, and by extension, in the futures of the people they serve. And the second thing to note lies in that word partnership. It is intentional on our part, not only to offer funding, but also to join with our partners, as Michael mentioned, to provide them with NCTA's energy and resources. That means standing beside them and offering any advice or assistance that we possibly can. And in fact, over the past several months, we've already been working with the organizations that you will be introduced to today. And as we've gotten to know them, they have proved themselves to be just terrific partners. And as we look ahead, we look forward to helping where we can. So now, on to the fun part, where I introduce to you each of our 3 partners for this year, and I announce our support for them. So the first partnership I'd like to announce is with a wonderful organization called Build Metro DC. Build has developed and runs a program that teaches entrepreneurship to over 300 at-risk, predominantly minority and low-income students in 9 DC high schools. As freshmen, participating students take a class to learn about entrepreneurship and how to start a business, and then create a business plan. In the following 2 years, as an after-school program, teams of students create, secure funding for, and manage, and grow actual businesses. Then as seniors, they focus on college and career readiness and workforce preparation. While the program teaches skills through entrepreneurship, with entrepreneurship as a core tenet of our own industry, the program also aims to keep students in school and pursue higher education. And impressively, 100% of Build DC students, seniors, that have graduated high school and are enrolled in college since Build was founded in 2008. Through our partnership, NCTA Foundation is helping Build expand with a pilot project to teach students coding, web, and graphic design skills, allowing them, we hope, to create digital businesses like web, mobile apps, and games. The pilot project will be conducted in a school in DC's Ward 8, and approximately 50 new students will be enrolled in Build and help to prepare for 21st century economy dominated by technology. And to help make that pilot a reality, I'm happy to announce that NCTA Foundation is supporting Build with a partnership grant of $110,000. So now, please welcome the Regional Executive Director of Build, Bryce Jacobs, to accept the check and to say a few words about our partnership means to them. Wait, important part? Big check. There we go.
Thanks, David, and the whole NCTA Foundation. It really has been a pleasure both to work with Frank and David and the whole team as they diligently chose the organizations that are here today to work with. And we're so grateful both for this monetary gift and for the partnership. I love to hear both Michael and Dave talk about NCTA folks volunteering and giving of their time. We have lots of amazing volunteer opportunities. We have a Build mentor in the room and a board member and some staff. So we'd love for you to chat with them about how you can get involved. But, you know, as David said, hundreds of thousands of young people nationwide are dropping out of high school every year. And in 2016, only 69% of DC high school students graduated on time. And even fewer, about 30%, of DC students are considered on track for college and career readiness. This is really a crisis for these students, for our city, and for our whole nation. But Build is committed to changing these staggering statistics. Build is committed to ensuring that our builders will not be among that 31% of DC students who don't graduate on time. Research tells us that students who see the relevance of school, who are engaged in their learning, who have strong mentors, have much higher chances of success on their paths to college and career success. But too often that path is long, windy, full of roadblocks, and full of potholes. We in DC know something about those potholes? And for too many of those students, those potholes are huge. They're really big. Some of the young people we serve face tremendous challenges and complex issues that are often associated with living in under-resourced communities. Build cannot fix the actual potholes in DC roads, sorry, but we are committed to removing the potholes on our students' journeys. And that commitment can change the world for the students that we serve. We partner with schools, families, and communities by providing an experiential entrepreneurship curriculum to over 300 students that engages students in learning through doing, specifically through running a business. With this gift from the NCTA Foundation, we will be beginning a pilot for those student businesses to be technology-based businesses. Until now, our students handmade products like socks that snap together so you don't lose one in the laundry. It's a pretty good product. Mints and lip balm in one convenient container so you can just stick it in your pocket and know where all of your things are. But we know that in the 21st century, those things are great, and we need to take our students even further. So, like David said, we want to help our students create technology-based businesses, mobile apps, games, things that we don't even know that they're going to dream up and come up with and build. We are going to start this pilot at Friendship Tech Public Charter School, where the students are already asking how they can start their technology businesses. So we're super excited to help them get on their way to those 21st century careers. Through our largest collection of youth incubators across our school sites in DC, Build students not only run businesses, but they learn the essential skills that we need to succeed, even as adults. Collaboration, innovation, problem solving, grit, self-management. We know that those are the skills that can make a difference in kids making it or not. And besides the fact that we teach all this stuff, we help kids with SAT prep, academic tutoring, college tours, and college application help to make sure they're really on their way. I just want to close with a few words from one of our students. Her name is Natalie. She was our first Build DC college graduate. She graduated a semester early from Drew University, and she wrote a letter to the Build team when she was a senior in college. She wrote, "One day, I got kicked out of high school. That's right, I got expelled because of my temper. I was infuriated, but I also felt terrible. I was worried and scared that I had failed everyone. When I broke the news to the Build staff, I expected them to kick me out and give up on me like my school did. But I didn't get that. I wasn't coddled, but Build stuck with me because they saw something in me I did not yet see in myself. All my life I had been surrounded by people who had great potential to be more than they could be. But because they didn't have the right tools to help them, they ended up going down the wrong path. I'm incredibly grateful that Build has given me the professional and academic tools to get me where I am today." And today, Natalie actually works at Build. So it's pretty amazing. So for Natalie, Build was transformative. Build continues to transform the lives every day through our innovative programming. And the NCTA Foundation's commitment to Build will enable us to expand services to reach more and more students in the nation's capital. So thank you very, very much.
I've had the opportunity, Frank and I have had the opportunity to visit with Build and their students and see them in action and see Bryce in action and the mentors and all that they do. And it really is truly inspirational, and we're really delighted to be able to support you in an additional way. So the next partnership I'd like to announce is with ByThought. Working with nearly 1,000 underserved adults in Washington each year, ByThought believes that digital inclusion and economic development can be achieved through the teaching of digital skills. In short, they are working to provide pathways of opportunity for all who participate in the digital world. Specifically, they do this by providing free computer training from the most basic all the way through certification courses, access to technology, and career preparation through the classes they hold at nearly 24 sites around the city, often at DC public schools, public libraries. And ByThought also provides a robust program of career services and support. When we chatted with ByThought earlier this year, a couple months ago, we discovered that there was an opportunity to help them significantly expand their reach and their curriculum by partnering with them to create a video production studio that can serve as a base for distance learning. The studio will be an experiential teaching resource for educating students about media and video production, while the virtual classroom will extend ByThought's training and classes to locations outside of an actual classroom. The NCTA Foundation is really happy and excited and pleased to act as a catalyst for this project. And I'm happy to tell you it is providing a partnership grant of $100,000 in order to support it. Joining us here today is Elizabeth Lindsay, the Executive Director of ByThought. So welcome, Elizabeth. Wait. Big check, yay. Come on up.
Good morning. We are so thrilled to be here. First of all, I'd like to thank the NCTA team, especially David, Frank, and Kristen for all you've done to do this. Our first meeting, David and Kristen sat down and started sharing with us. We know you do this, we know you did that. We have never met with a team who had done so much research and taken their task of finding a partner so seriously, and we really, really appreciate that. ByThought was founded 19 years ago, which I think is amazing that our co-founders foresaw the importance of technology in our world. It is hard to imagine a day when we don't use technology. This morning I video chatted with my doctor, took an Uber, and looked at an Excel spreadsheet on my computer. And unfortunately, there are thousands and thousands of people just here in DC who don't have access to technology. And even when they do, they don't necessarily have the skills to utilize it. Every year, over almost 1,000, like David said, people come through ByteBack stores looking for a window into this world that uses technology. We teach classes at all levels, starting at beginner all the way up through advanced certification classes, where we are teaching people how to use things like Microsoft Word, how to navigate the home screen, how to use a mouse, all the way up to helping them to get the skills necessary to move into a living wage job that uses technology. We have many students who come in who are unemployed or underemployed. Over 30% of our students have insecure housing, so they don't have a stable home to come home to. We have a student who was living in a storage unit. And what inspires me every day is that our students face these types of challenges and get up and come to ByteBack to learn, to really change their lives. At the first event I attended as ByteBack Executive Director a little over a year ago, a student came up to me and she said, "ByteBack saved my life." She had been living in her car and she came to us and she took one of our certification classes and was able to move into a job. She's now an IT contractor for a large firm. She has her own apartment in DC. This is the change and the impact that having access to these skills can make in people's lives. We have always taught in a very old school way. We've always taught our students in a classroom with a projector up front. We'll continue to do that because we really believe in that hands-on, face-to-face experience. But thanks to this grant, we will now be able to reach our students in new ways. If a student misses a class, we'll be able to send them a link to see a recording of the class. If a student wants to learn a little bit more about a topic that they're struggling with, they'll be able to look and see a tutorial about that subject that we recorded at this NCTA virtual classroom video production studio. If there's a student who can't make it because of rain or whatever, they'll be able to make up the classes. And we'll be able to pilot teaching remotely. We'll be able to pilot teaching our classes to people who are not able to come into ByteBack every day. This is really going to change and expand the work that we do. So thank you again to NCTA, and I'm so excited, especially about the partnership. We've already worked with you all and talked with you about how to build the studio and what it should look like, and we're really excited for everyone here to come see our video production studio very soon. Thanks again.
And again, Kristen and I had the opportunity to go and visit with ByteBack and see some of their classes in action and meet some of the students and really see what they do. And it was an eye-opening experience. It was up in Brookland and in a very tiny little space that they made work for them, but they do a really great job, and to be able to support them is really terrific and awesome. So last but certainly not least, I'd like to introduce you to the Foundation's third partner for this year, A Wider Circle. Based in Silver Spring, but working throughout the DC metro area, A Wider Circle takes a wraparound approach to addressing poverty in our area. Each year, the organization and its volunteers serve approximately 20,000 adults and children by providing furnishings and basic needs for 4,500 homes. Critically, at its primary location, Silver Spring, A Wider Circle also provides comprehensive job preparedness support for 2,000 men and women using a holistic, intensive, and a highly personalized approach to help them enter or re-enter the workforce. It includes an intensive program involving topics like resume writing, interview skills, career path identification, and job advancement. The NCTA Foundation is partnering with A Wider Circle and providing it a grant of $115,000 that will enable it to outfit their soon-to-be renovated headquarters with technology, including a new computer lab with space for 20 computers, and outfitting a new 4,000 square foot classroom and conference center space with projectors, television screens, and a wide range of technology resources. The major focus of the educational programming taught in these spaces will be workforce readiness, and the Foundation's support will enable A Wider Circle to expand vastly their capabilities in this area and prepare many more in the DC area for opportunity and employment. So now, please welcome Mark Burgle, the founder and executive director of A Wider Circle.
Switch it up, I'll stand on this side.
Well, good morning, everybody. First, it's a real honor to be here with Bill and ByThought. It really is, and to get to know you and hopefully collaborate as we go forward. Wider Circle served about 170,000 children and adults since we were founded back in 2001, and most of those people live in what amounts to a different world. It's a world where danger and opportunity are in the exact wrong proportion to one another. It's a world that we cannot tolerate anymore. And so on this journey, we constantly think about how we can serve better and partner better and find folks who really care. And so that's what's so beautiful about today. And Dave and Kat, where are you, Kat? Thank you for helping to guide this process through, and Jenna on A Wider Circle's team. And I'm up here, but I know who the heroes are for A Wider Circle. So if my staff can just raise their hands so you guys can see. Kate and Sarah, Catherine, Emily, raise your hand. Jenna, thank you. So thanks you guys for what you do every day and making this work possible. It's a world that we really can't tolerate, and partnerships like this are so key, but they can't just be partnerships where we show how much we care. You know, caring is good, but this is really about commitment, and a gift of the size that you're making to our three groups, that's commitment. And so I just want to thank you for understanding what we're trying to do and then supporting it at a level that will really create change. With this gift, we will turn what is a nice center into a beautiful center, a center where people don't feel like they're in a different world, where they come to learn in the same kind of space where I learned, and where the people who I see in my neighborhoods learn. It's the exact same space. There's no difference between the people we serve and the people who work with me, who are on my board, save for where they were born. You know, birth is the number one reason people are in poverty. It's by far the people we serve. It's birth. And the number one reason they get out is because other people commit. And so that's what this represents to me. The average family at A Wider Circle has an income of $12,000 a year. Average family size of 4. They are choosing between food and rent, and school and advancement is not even in the picture. And they choose food in those situations. And so it's our responsibility to figure out how to connect with them and how to help them take those next steps so they are no longer dependent on our groups. So they are free, independent folks. That's our goal. And so I'm deeply moved by this gift. It will turn our center. We're going to knock down every wall inside our 35,000 square foot center. So stay away for a little while, because it's going to be rough, and we're going to adapt. And then when we're done, we're going to have a space where we can not only bring our students in to learn in rooms that are dignified and that can reflect the dignity and respect they deserve, but where we can also bring thought leaders and change agents from around the country together to think about how we can collaborate better and end these two different worlds that coexist. So thank you all very much for including us in this day.
And once again, Kat and I went up and visited A Wider Circle at least once, maybe twice, I can't remember, and had a chance to see their facilities, to see what they do. And it was a pretty fun but easy discussion to try to think about how we could help them and what we might be able to do together. And we're delighted to be able to offer that. So we're almost at the end, but before we go, I'd urge all of you to take a look at the videos that are playing outside of the theater. Each of our partners is really good enough to share with us a background video about the organization, and we hope you'll take a look and learn some more. Also, there was some literature on tables outside, both there and there, and we hope that you'll take some of that and again learn some more about what the organizations do. We also will probably send out an email to all of you soon with links to all of the above too. So if you don't pick it up here, you'll get it in your inbox sometime very soon. Finally, I'd like to take a moment to thank the folks who spent time working on the Foundation's behalf. You heard their names already, but Frank Gallagher, Kat Stewart, Kristen Bush, and Beverly Hicks. These are the people who make the Foundation go, and they do an amazing job at it. Finally, I'd like to thank you for coming, and with that, thank you.
Thank you.